I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Run After Show. I am your host, Adiamond Baker, and with me are my freaking awesome co-hosts. We have Nija.
Hey guys.
Sean.
Hey.
And Kelsey with us today.
Hi, I missed you guys last week.
I know, we missed you too. What the
Welcome
heck?
back.
Don't do it again.
Thank you.
All right, this episode I think is probably the best episode, or the most exciting, or most anticipated episode so far. We know who Fiona is now. We've got some confessions coming out, and sex on money. I don't know about you, but it sounds pretty damn good. Let's get started. Nija, what did you think of? What are your overall thoughts of the episode?
Okay, so I'm gonna just start out with the beginning when we see Ruby's marriage scene, and I was like, did she text him run? I was like, she just texted him run, and then he didn't respond, and that's what made her decide to actually get married. And now I kind of know why she wanted to run away with him after all, because she doesn't really want to be with her husband anyways. So she was kind of just stuck. So I thought that was pretty interesting to start out with, nonetheless.
Yes. And I also like that you're undercover calling me out for having a really bad prediction to the future episodes. So we did actually go into a flashback, which was the marriage that you're talking about. So I'm kind of sad that I'm wrong about that, but it told us a lot about where she was, like what was her headspace before she got married. Sean, what did you think?
Yeah, well, it's funny. The first note I made on this episode was Adiamond was wrong.
I
had mixed feelings about it, because I like what you thought. Like, I like the idea of what you said, but then I was like, I actually like that we're going to get to see more of this world, right? We were introduced to her mom. We got introduced to Fiona. So there's a lot to get into for this episode. So I'm excited.
Yep. Kelsey, what about you?
I totally agree. I love this episode. I agree with you, Adam. I think that this episode has been the best thus far. I think that we're learning a lot more about these characters and about their past lives, and like what made them the couple they are and they were, and like what made them as individuals. And I loved it. It was so good. And I'm excited to chat about it. Freaking Fiona.
I know.
I died at the end. I was like, wait, what? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And like, to what you were saying, Nija, about the text, like the mother, of course, asked her, like, has he written you today? So that obviously tells you that, like, he's constantly, she know, like, her and her mother obviously have talk. They're probably close, but that he's been in contact with her often, like during the relationship of her getting married or getting to know this guy, or what, like the journey of her relationship with this guy. Billy has been contacting Rudy up until this point. And I want to say that, like, he did text back and she lied to her mom, because at that point when she texted run, I think that maybe he really did say something, but what is she going to do now? She's like on her way out the door to the altar. And like, I think it was just like I don't know. I want to say that he did text her. I'm just going to say that. But after that, we're now, I don't know.
So.
Well then, you know what? I'm used to being wrong. So I think I'm just going to go on that journey.
Yeah, go girl.
I'm just going to run full sprint. But we end up back in real time, and she's trying to tell the teller, or the whatever the TSA for the train is like, that she lost her ticket, and then they finally reconnect. What were your initial thoughts on that, Sean?
Well, just real quickly, I think it was very interesting that this isn't the first time that this text has occurred. So now I'm like, has he done it and she hasn't responded? Like 5 years before that? I don't know. So that was a very interesting plot point for me, that this was, as far as we know now, this is the second time that this has happened. But then, of course, now she's no money, no ticket, you're stuck. And of course, here comes Prince Charming right to the rescue.
Yeah.
Gonna get her. And
you saw that one coming.
I love how he does it too. Like she's the only person that sounds like she's lying when she's telling the truth. What a great line that was.
Yeah.
But no, this was. I mean, guys, we have 6 more episodes, so we know that this isn't going to be over that quick. But they're doing a really good job of still keeping us on our toes. Like, how are they going to do? Like, what are they going to do? Right? Like, how are they going to keep this thing going organically? And I think they're doing a great job so far.
Yeah, I agree. And so they wind up in Chicago, and they have this whole no phone. So they're always making these like little deals, like moratorium. You know, they're on a moratorium. There are no phones, but someone always wants to break that deal, or you know, or does it happens to break the deal. And in this case, Billy breaks it by still being in contact over the phone with Fiona, and she is relentless. Like at this point, I mean, I kind of figured that she was still his assistant, but like she's getting crazy, like the crazy ex-boyfriend or the crazy ex-girlfriend, to where she's like fully stalking him. She's like demanding that they meet. And, you know, at this point, I'm like, okay, enough is enough. They need to meet up. And so like when I won't even go into it yet, but Kelsey, tell me what were your thoughts? Like they're on that boat thing and he's still trying to talk with Fiona. What were your thoughts on all that?
You know, I agree with you because I've been an assistant before, and assistants, it's like you're not that invested. You know, it's like you're invested, but she was clearly like wanted something more from him. There was something missing. There was a piece of the puzzle that was missing. So I agree with you. It did seem like I still thought that okay, she is his assistant, but I was like, there's more to this that is being left out. So it was annoying to me. I was like, he's hiding something. I don't like that he's hiding it from her. Obviously, he's trying to hide it from her for a reason. But excuse me, you made up the no phone rule, sir, Billy. What the heck? So it was annoying me. I was excited though. I felt like we were going to meet her this episode. I didn't think it was going to happen that way, but I was excited to meet her. Yeah, I was excited and annoyed with him.
Yeah. Once again, and I think my annoyance with him was just that, of course, he's going to he's out of his insecurity or his whatever it is he's got going. He makes the rule that there should be no phones. And then for his own selfish reasons, needs to use his phone in order to get done what he needs to get done. So I thought that was really interesting. But then they're at the hotel and she doesn't have any working cards and he tries to get money out of the bank. And he's like, trying everything he can to like get his money out because he knows that Fiona's going to be accessing it. And so then that was like a turning point for me for like, wait a second, like why would a girlfriend, if it was a girlfriend, need to have his money or like take his money? And then if it was assistant, why would his assistant even more so need to have any access to his money? So then that's when it kind of changed for me. Like what, like it confused me big time. Nyjah, did you have any thoughts on any of that?
I was kind of confused because, I kind of thought it was his girlfriend too. And then come to find out it is his assistant and they got a lot of whole inner drama going on with them. I kind of still think that they probably did some stuff, even though they may have not. Maybe that's just not coming out yet. But Fiona, she wants money. And I think that's all it is. And Billy's not going to give it to her because he's kind of like a little trickster too. So you can see how they became business partners a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that just going off you guys real quick, I think that and obviously she says it, she thinks that she is entitled to more than he has given her. It's like she made the point of when she leaves, she only has this title and she did everything for him. So he knows that, even before talking to her, he knows she feels that way. So he's kind of like taking all precautions. Right. But I mean, even then, up until we meet her, you're like, this is weird. Like there's definitely an added element, this like thriller element, right? That you're like, ooh, what's happening between the two of them or what has happened?
And when they were in the mall and the two girls meet, Rudy and Fiona, I had a feeling, I'm like, I bet you that's
Did
Fiona.
you?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't. I had no idea.
Yeah, because first of all, they were too friendly and it was like going off without a hitch too much. And like, and like Fiona was just like, but then she said, my name's Alice. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe it's just like this really wacky Alice girl who just steals clothes.
Yeah, right. Oh no.
I think we might have lost.
We lost her. So really wacky Fiona girl. That's crazy. Did you guys think that it was her at all?
No, I just remember thinking the whole time, like, wow, this is such a great like cameo, or such a great, like, this person's doing such a great job with this little role. And I'm like, wow, it's just kind of bizarre that like they had instant chemistry, and like you were instantly with them stealing this dress, like, which I don't condone necessarily, but in the moment I was like, oh, you should steal the dress. Like, she's 100%. Got the thing.
Yeah.
Got the remover, and also like, let's get it done, you know?
Yeah.
But no, I had no inkling. I mean, I thought she might come back around at some point, but like, I had no inkling that was Fiona.
Right. Me neither. You neither, Naija?
No, like, kind of in the back of my head, yes, because like you guys said, she was a little wacky. But then I was like, is she following them? Because I feel like she was following them wherever he goes, because I think she has a tracker on his phone. So maybe that's how she ended up at the dress store.
Adiamond, welcome back.
To try on some fancy dresses.
Sorry about that.
You're good, girl.
So yeah, I was really pleasantly shocked to or like just to be justified in that. I was like, okay, I was right about that. But it
you were right about that. Yes.
Good
job. Sorry, I'll stop gloating about my being so right. But yeah, I thought it was a very interesting thing, and I kind of love that, like, Rudy can, like, just in this midst of like all this craziness, she's like confessing, like, I left my husband and kids, you know, and then and she's like, oh, okay, like just the pure the shock of it, you know, it just was hilarious. My whole setup here is falling apart, you guys.
Diamond, quickly, because since you brought that up, do you think that Fiona knows who Ruby is?
Yeah,
I kind of
because I was trying to like think to myself, like, no, I don't think so, because how could she? But like, she literally knows everything about his life. I cannot imagine that he didn't once say something, or she didn't read through like his iCloud messages to her, or, you know, like somehow figure it out. Like, she's a smart girl and she's his assistant. And so I think so.
You know what? I think because they were supposed to meet, right? And then she didn't end up showing up at that time. I think that she saw them. I don't think she knew who she was, but I think that she saw them. Yeah, and then she planted herself in the dressing room and tried to almost like make this, because Sean, I agree with you, like their weird connection was so genuine that you were like rooting for both of them in that moment. And I think that's exactly what they were trying to do, was paint that, you know. And I think that
to distract us, you mean, like
almost. Right. Okay. Distract us, and then also like make Ruby feel comfortable enough to confide in her. And then I think that then she was like, oh yeah, this is the girl, sort of thing. That's what I like. I don't think she knew, but then that like solidified it.
So do you think she just walks around with that like device that
I know that was weird.
You know, like
maybe
that was maybe. Where does that, how does that fit in and like where? But
she's a sneaky gal.
Yeah. And in there, and like about the confessions, like not only did is it Rudy or Ruby?
Ruby with a B.
Ruby. Okay.
Yes.
Ruby. Not only did she like fully come clean with her life and where her head was at and like why she is there now, but like we finally get an understanding of what happened with him. And in that moment when he was telling her, when she's sitting on the money, you know, because she found all the money, he come back after speaking with Fiona, he's talking about how the one wife was there. And I had to think, like, I wonder if like Tony Robbins ever had that happen to him, or Esther Perel, you know, like I wonder like if anybody has had that happen to them, where they have like indirectly caused somebody harm because they got off a medication, or, you know, like, and so for that, you know, like that to me was like really interesting. And like, I don't know, what do you guys, Sean?
I think it probably happens more than we know.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if you think about the amount of people Tony Robbins has been in front of, I mean,
and touched, and people who listen to him,
and like, you know, inspired, and then, you know, because I think a lot of times with those kind of things, like you get inspired, and then 6 months later you burn out or whatever reason, and then it all spirals and goes back to how it was, or worse, or who knows. So I think it probably comes with the territory. Obviously, being confronted like that, you know, at a live event at the beginning of it, not the best way to start. And if you're not ready for it, because it also seems I barely buy that he's this guy anyway. So the fact that they built this whole empire, like I don't see that guy in him yet. Now maybe
I don't think he buys it.
Yeah, maybe we're gonna see that in a flashback or something of him like really being this kind of Tony Robbins guy. But so far, I haven't seen it, so I'm not really buying it. But it's a great point you bring up, though, Diamond, that, you know, everyone, like, to have that happen, and that's so horrible.
I wouldn't even know what to do. I'd probably run out screaming just the same, like pretty
right.
Seriously.
pretty scary. So, like, I mean, I guess let's go into what is my favorite segment, which is special segments. And this is called The More. Like, what more did we want to see from the episode? So a little more moment. Sean, lead the way to our special segment.
Sure, of course. Thank you. So yes, it's that moment or part of the episode where you wish you felt like it maybe got cut off, and therefore leaving you wanting a little bit more. So I will start my little more moment this episode. It's because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I wanted Ruby and Alice to go like steal 10 more dresses and just hang out all day. Like I just love their instant relationship, the way that she helped her. I mean, that moment of the dress. I mean, how we even talked about that. How hilarious was that? I mean, you ladies, I'm sure, can relate to that moment of being stuck in a dress with no one to help you.
100%.
Oh my goodness.
Jeans.
So, yeah.
I've been, yeah.
Anyway, so that's my little more moment. Nigel, what about you?
So my more moment was when Billy and Fiona, like, she came to the hotel and they were talking. I wanted to find out more as to like what their whole ordeal was. And I don't think it was enough, because I feel like she's going to like follow them still to get what she wants. So we'll see in the next episode.
Kelsey.
Ooh, there's so many good ones. I mean, for me, I feel like this is lame because you're left on such a cliffhanger, right, at the end. So I wanted more of the episode, period, right? Like the whole phone situation. But I kind of agree with you, Sean, like the happy moment. I liked the dress a lot. I felt like you haven't seen Ruby in like that sort of space throughout, or from what we've seen so far. It's like she hasn't been in like a happy girlfriend, like, yay, oh my gosh, I'm doing something for myself and like proud of myself and this is fun. And so I really liked that. I like that for her. I want to see more of her opening up in that sort of way and kind of getting in touch with her like happy old self.
Yeah, definitely. Adiamond, bring us home.
You know,
bring us home, girl.
The more we get into the season, the more I'm understanding why we don't go too deep into certain situations or dialogue, or because they have to leave us there because something is going to happen that we need to find out later, you know. And so Kelsey, I want more in the episode. I need more time. I want to find out more within the episode. I wish this was an hour long. And so I just want to binge watch this episode. I cannot do episode by episode, so I think I'm struggling with that a little bit. But yeah, just like overall more within an episode, more time, more, I don't know, more information. But yeah, it's pretty perfectly, I mean, it's pretty perfect, you know, to keep us involved and to keep it short. And yeah, so.
I thought of another one, you guys, I have to add on.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. My other one was when Ruby was talking about her whole journey with quitting school and like leaving as an architect. I thought that was really interesting because I didn't see that coming at all. And the whole idea of him being the one that was succeeding, you know, but succeeding not in, and he wasn't happy, but he ended up succeeding and she didn't, but then she succeeded with her family. So I wanted more of that sort of thing. And I think we'll get more of that. But
and
it was an interesting thing, like kind of point.
And to your point, I'm so glad you said that, because Billy says, you were right about leaving me. And, you know, and I felt that, because I feel like I felt the same way about like if I was ever in a relationship with a boy and they broke up with me because I was too wild. I'm like, you're probably right. Like I would have ruined your life. So this is probably best, you know, so I completely related to that. And to your point, I would have liked to hear more about her journey and what she was doing, and a little bit more about what he means by that, you know, just more of the confession between the two, or more talking about that, about their lives and what led them to there. But again, who knows? We might need to learn more later, because it makes later happen.
Right.
Well, they're doing their jobs, Adiamond, because they're making you crawl with more, wanting more. So I think they're doing it right. They're doing it right.
Yep, exactly.
And then we can't watch ahead at all. It's painful.
Yeah.
It's so painful. I hate it.
It's good though, because it would be hard not to.
I know. I'd finish the whole season in one night. So, all right, let's do predictions. What do you say? Nyjah, what do you think's going to happen in the next episodes?
Okay, guys. So, you know, I'm kind of good with these predictions and everything. So, in the next episode, I think we're going to see a lot more of Fiona, of course, because now she's popped up and obviously she wants something from Billy. But on another note, I think we will see more clips of their lives and everything, like how they did it in this episode. They showed Ruby's life, so I think we're going to see more of that. And then I guess they're going to keep running, because I don't think Ruby's going to go home anytime soon now, since they did the do, you know, so that's over and done with, so she's probably going to stay.
All right,
that's
Kelsey.
All I got.
Well, I'm not crazy, right? She slid the phone under the door. So
Sure did.
I'm
Voice
like,
record.
Yeah. So I think that Ruby's gonna want to go home. I think that she's gonna come to this, like, after their night, that she's like, I can't leave. I mean, she's already said she misses her kids, right? So she's gonna feel like she needs to go home. But now, what's her butt has this on them, and she's not gonna be able to go home. And they're gonna have to figure something out. And there's definitely gonna be more to play into that. And I think actually this next episode we're gonna learn more about Billy's past. I think we got a little bit of Ruby's this last episode, and we're gonna get more of his and his whole whatever it is he does, Tony Robbins-esque thing.
All right, Sean.
I agree with you, Kelsey. I think that's gonna come into major play. I think she just got her blackmail card. So that Billy has to pay up. But my prediction is, since we finally have seen Fiona, I think this next episode we're finally going to see her husband. We're actually going to see him, maybe see the kids too, and you know, again, have some more humanity around these people that we hear about. It's easy to dismiss people when you don't know them and don't see them interacting. But once we get a visual, well, now maybe we're not as big a fan as Ruby as we were. So that's my prediction.
All right.
That voicemail was brutal. It's still like playing in my head.
Yeah.
Ruby decided to leave her family.
So good.
Brutal.
What about you, Adiamond?
You guys really took all mine, so now I'm like pulling from the sky.
You can do it. We love yours.
So, in the spirit of being wrong, I think that I think they may have to join together, and somehow Fiona's going to have to get some of that money, and and maybe Billy is going to have to give her references because of the evidence that what's her face has. But honestly, if it's just evidence of two people moaning, I don't know how far that would go or how much dirt they really have on them.
True.
Unless there's conversations that happen after this and she's recording this whole time. I don't know. But yeah, I think we're gonna get to know, we're gonna see the husband side of things. And yeah, you guys took all mine. Oh man, I feel like
That was
crap.
good. I think that's good though. I think that's a good point about we don't know how much she's recorded, because if it is just moans and it's voice recording, cool, like congratulations, that could literally be anyone.
Right.
So I think that might play a part. I like that.
But here's what I will add to a little more. I really wanted to know a little bit more about why if he doesn't want to be a part of that world anymore, why doesn't he just give Fiona the title, the money? Like, why is he still hanging on to it? And why is he still like not giving her what she's asking for if he doesn't even want to be a part of it? So I want to know more about that. Like, what else is he holding on to? Maybe we'll find that out. Maybe we'll find some more about that little thing. But I want to get into news because we've got some really interesting topic. Go ahead, Miss Naija.
So you guys, I have something funny for the news. If you guys watch Fleabag, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, she did an interview with Insider, and she has one of their art pieces, which is the wall of penises in her house. And I thought this was funny as I was reading the interview, that she got a package delivered by a delivery guy, and he had to bring something in, and he was like rubbing up against the penises on the wall. Like, how?
That's hilarious.
She's too much. That's always so like, good. Oh, like, you know. But I think
I wonder if he knew
funny.
who she was, you know? He's like, oh my God, that's a Fleabag. That's so funny.
I don't know how I would feel if I walked in her house and I saw a wall of penises.
Yeah, right.
I would love it. I would absolutely love it. I'd probably start climbing the wall.
I love it. Take pictures with it.
just trying to climb up the wall. You guys, and please forgive me, I forgot to introduce you guys as who you are. You know, Kelsey, she is an absolute Phoebe Waller-Bridge fanatic. Sean, who after watching Unbelievable and Godless, has made him a huge Merritt Weaver fan. And of course, Nice just trying to run from life right now. So my apologies on that. You guys, why don't you tell us where everybody can find you? Naija, you go first.
All right, guys. So I am on Instagram at Naiji, so NADJ 4Es _. And I'm also on Twitter at Someone Say Naija. And you guys can catch me on Siren After Show on Fridays at 6 p.m. Sorry, I kind of almost forgot the time, but.
All right, Kelsey, where can I find you?
I am on all social media at Meyer 2, because the number 1 was taken and 2 is cooler. So Meyer 2.
Awesome. Sean.
You can find me on the gram at SeanStar75, on Twitter at Gorilla Suit Sean, and then of course with the lovely Adiamond on Wednesday nights for the Mrs. America after show.
Ooh.
Awesome. Yeah, it's freaking amazing. You guys got to check it out. All right, well, guys, you can find me like with Sean on Wednesdays with the Mrs. America after show, and also on Dragnificent. We're actually going to have the real life Thorgy Thor drag queen on with us tomorrow. So please check that out. I know. I am beyond excited. I'm so excited. But you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at NotYourType, NOT_YUR_TYPE. Other than that, you guys, we're so excited. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share, comment. And we'll see you next week for episode 4 of Run.
Yay!
All right.
Yay!
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.